I'm your friend, Dr. Charles Apoki. You are welcome to the second part of the interview with Reverend Samson Bodjor. I'm your friend, Dr. Charles Apoki. Even my granddaughter does that. And some children in some homes, all over the world, they do that. So, tell me how you went to school.
Yeah, that's another journey, but I'll have to explain some things around it so that people can also learn from it and know that it's possible. One, I came from a polygamous home. My father had 21 children.
Wow.
And I am number 11 of 21 children. And as at when my father died in 1996, there was no graduate in my family.
Wow.
Not one. They would go to school, intelligent people from my home, but you would just see them branch out to do one business, menial jobs and all that. Then I finished school too, that 1996, secondary school, and branched out into ministry, do some school of ministry, then went into ministry. But I had that pain in my spirit that I need to go to school. Before then, I realized that I started praying that God, how will I come from a home that nobody is a graduate? And so I thought it was an evil spirit. So I was binding until I became Sharia victim because I started ministering in the north, and our churches in the north were burned down during the Sharia February 28, year 2000. So I came to Ohe, one slippers, one trouser, one shirt, 1,000. Came to town here, squatted with the pastor for 4 months. Then I started doing school of missions and rented one room. So one afternoon, 2 p.m., I was in that one room. I began to talk to myself. Are you going to be talking to few people or you are going to preach to the world? You want to do a global ministry or you want to do a local ministry? Of course, my answer was global ministry. Then if it's global ministry, you need to be educated. You need some form of secular education. Then number 2, that same afternoon, the prayer you'll be praying, oh God, give us graduate in this family. Oh God, give us graduate in this family. The prayer has been answered. You are the person God is waiting for. But I had no sponsor. So I just decided that afternoon that I was going to go back to the university. I lived in one room then, one bed, everything one. So I went to pick jam form, wrote jam, got the first admission. I was one among the first admitted students in NDU when they opened the Bayelsa State University. All the money I needed to go to school was about 158,000. I couldn't raise the money. The admission came and gone. So I went, bought another form again, and went to Delta State University. Previously, I was a science student. But at this time, I was not wanting to do a science course again, so I needed to do a leadership, something that's leadership related. So I had to go back to the school and enroll.
No, specific secondary school.
Secondary school.
At what age?
I was already in my 26 or so, 25.
You wore school uniform?
I wore school uniform, brown and white. I went to Oviri Secondary School and enrolled, read, went to lesson to straighten my hand in mathematics because I learned then we were paying for Expo, 6,000 naira. So first, where will I have come from with 6,000 naira to pay for Expo? Number 2, I'm a pastor. So and that was how I went, wrote, and I got 8 credits. Then bought the form, went to school. I applied. I wanted doing mass comm, but they gave me political science. And thank God I did political science because all of the ingredients around leadership that I wanted, I actually saw them. So that was how I went to Delta State University, did a part-time program, and graduated. And went back to do a master's degree in public administration, also graduated. Then also to let the world know and also convince myself that no demon was disturbing anybody from becoming a graduate in my family. It was just a mindset and willingness for people to go back to school. So I also went to the college of, the Institute of Chartered Administrators and chartered as an administrator.
Wow.
So this is a little...
Let people know those your times you need to do, tarry night, go and preach at night and go and do exam. That time you stood at PTI gate and junction. What they want to hear.
Those were really time with me. You know, like I told you, when I took the decision to go to the university, I had no sponsor. And I'm a shy person naturally. So it will be difficult for me to actually meet somebody. Once I meet somebody for help and it didn't help me, I will leave there wounded. So I don't know how to ask for help. It's just a nature that I've not been able to overcome. So I took the decision, went to school. I needed to pay school fees. But then people like my messages. They invite me to preach everywhere. Some of the churches around in my locality. So sometimes I'll have lectures on Saturdays. My lectures comes Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays, sometimes, Sunday afternoon. So I now have lecture on Saturday. And I'll be invited to preach in an all night. Definitely.
Throughout the night.
Throughout the night. I'll need to go preach because I need the honorarium they will give to me to pay my transport or to gather and pay my school fees. So sometimes I will do the night vigil. There was a time I was preaching number 207 PTI Road, Great Anointed Favor Bible Church. I had exam the next day. I was going to write post 201 the next day. And I was invited to do night vigil. So I took my handouts and some of my books along with my Bible. So I was in the pastor's office. I was reading for the exam when he thought I was reading for his program. I was prepared for the program already. Then around 11:30 they will bring me up to preach and will tell the people, pray very well and make sure you extract everything that he came with. And he told me I was going to handle that microphone from 11:30 till 5 a.m. in the morning. Because I'll preach, I'll do deliverance, I'll pray for all groups of persons. And I did that. Then told him that I ought to go to somewhere the next day from the church. So I had to use his bathroom, bathe, and change. And move straight to the examination hall.
Wow.
8 a.m. in the morning was that paper. So sometimes I really don't know how I passed some of the papers at school. But I know I really had.
It is determination.
That is just it.
Now, you also encouraged me and I went to do the Masters in Public Admin.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much for encouraging me to go and do the Masters in Public Admin.
It's a great pleasure, Papa.
I have traveled with you a lot.
Yes, sir.
And what countries have we went to?
We went to Kenya, we went to Madagascar, then you linked me to go to South Africa, and I've been there severally. Then we've preached around a lot of the places. Today I preach in Anglican churches. Courtesy your connections. Sometimes you'll be invited to preach in some places. You will just tell them that you'll not be free to do that, but there's somebody that can do it and even do it better.
I like that. Do it better.
Then you link me to them. I'll preach. Till date, I preach in a lot of the Anglican churches in Port Harcourt, in Ughelli here. In a few days, in December, I was preaching in Bakken. Some of the people who he was supposed to preach to, you know, people, sons of a community that comes together at the end of the year. So I went there, and the people now have asked me to come again.
Wow.
After I've preached, they say, wow, that what you told them was really a fact. So I should return again this year.
Okay, I will ask you two questions. People say I'm a very difficult person. In fact, some say I'm wicked, some say I'm mad, some say I'm a stingy person. What's your own view?
Well, I've heard people say that. All of what you said now, that he's a mad person. People have actually asked me, how are you relating with this man? So, but I think my own view is that I think it has to do with desire. Because when I met you, what I saw and heard from you, two things registered. My desire changed. Then I had admiration for you as a person and the things you do. So my first aim of coming around you is to be like you. So some of those things that people were saying, because my attention wasn't there, I wasn't really seeing them. The madness they talk about, I knew I even need that madness to survive. Because at the time I knew I was too all welcoming, I was too calm. So I had to learn to be hard. So when they were saying that it's too hard, I needed that hardness to protect my life, because sometimes I see it as a protective measure.
Yes.
So
a defense mechanism.
Yeah, a defense mechanism. I remember one of the day when they were building this house, somebody came and I don't know, I can't remember again.
Carpenter.
A carpenter came and did something that was not right. And you were telling him that you should have made this thing better. And he was defending what. The next thing I saw was a shovel. That boy left his clothes and
Dr. Apoki.
But to some persons, they will feel that what is wrong with this?
What the boy was asking you, they said this man is a pastor. They said you're a pastor. A pastor. Then you come and build nonsense for me.
You get it.
For where? You know happen. I must gwegwenize you.
The excellence that you have that have become a culture in your life and in your family, and you also instill in us and people, it was out of that harshness. Because when you are too lenient, too nice, people just take you for granted. So to me, that was not the case. Then number two, I've never seen you being stingy. Because people always come to meet people or meet great people because of what they want to gain from them. Instead of looking for the knowledge and looking for the strategies and the process, but they're looking for money. For me, I wasn't looking for money. I was looking for strategies. I was looking for ideas. I was looking for knowledge. But you were also giving me money. We got to preach in programs. When I come in, most especially when I got married newly,
yes,
he would just say, come, let's go to Port Harcourt, go to Owerri. When we come back, so it was just money that sustained me and my wife at the end of our marriage. They were giving me money. So I was wondering, when we were saying it's so stingy, and in the midst of the stinginess, I know how you give people scholarship to study free in your school. A lot of pastors' children study free.
Even in our church,
in our church, the church, one of the branch church from Istan, Notokutu, every year that is his own church. He comes to the place, preach. He will give the people scholarship. This since last year now, every term he give them scholarship, give them money. So I really don't know what people want why they are doing is this thing. I'm sure the strategies and principles are too heavy for them.
Too tough.
Yeah.
One pastor told me, say, how do you make money? He sat here and he's a bishop now. And I told him the kind of life I live. He said, no. That one is too difficult for me. I cannot live that.
You know, somebody was telling me to say, Dr. Apoki is somebody we look up to, and he taught us all this strategy. Say, but your own, you are becoming worse.
You,
Bodjor, you are becoming worse.
What's up then, Doctor?
What's up then?
And I'm experiencing that with those I mentor. They learned these principles. They are doing it more than, I know somebody who will go and buy only one rod. He will pay for only one rod. They will tie it into a beam,
yeah,
and he will keep it. He will buy one trip of granite. And he is building a fantastic house now. That principle of gradualism, or they call me the croc professor. Now croc, now if I would feed himself, feed the children. That's interesting. I must thank you so much for being an elder brother to my children. Anytime I have challenges with them, my wife always refers them to you, and you give them an elder brother's advice. Thank you for pastoring my daughter, Mrs. Ejiro Chidima Apoki Uda, raised to power 4. Thank you for being there. And today is your anniversary.
Yes, my 14th year marriage anniversary.
Wow, I remember I was the one who drove.
You drove, you gave me the car, and you've played a vital role in the heights we've attained maritally today. In short, the stability of that marriage is dependent on your prayers.
You know, the wedding card.
It's still on your.
Your wedding card is still in my Bible. There was a time I will always pray over that wedding card. I'll pray and prophesy. And I'm so glad. 14 years, not
14 years.
Oh, that's great. Awesome. So, Reverend Samson Bodjor is a pastor, a great writer, heavily anointed man of God. And at one time, he was spiritual advisor to the family of the governor of one of the states. And he's a widely traveled man, known all over the world. God bless you, sir, for coming. I remain your friend,
Dr. Charles
Apoki.